Universal Service Fund. So you can check Bafoni Banu, Wi-Fi, Yatu data. You don't need a password. Get on that, like the MUUNI Fund page, and you will be able to go back in time and find us where we are now so that you can catch up with where we are in the progress and appreciate the progress that the young people have made out there. Another thank you, of course, goes to the evaluators that were on the road with us, both up north here and in the southern region, making time, helping with the evaluations and giving feedback to the innovators to be able to bring us what they have here today. With that, please allow me to invite up to the podium Mr. Daud Suleiman, MACRA DG. Please give him a warm welcome as he comes up.
Thank you very much. Our guest of honor, the Minister of Information and Digitalization, Honorable Moses Kunkuyu Karunga Shawa, Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Information and Digitalization, Mr. Baldwin Chiamwaka, MACRA Board Chairperson, Mrs. Margaret Chibwana, members of staff from MACRA and MUUNI Fund that are present, distinguished district commissioners and CEOs of district councils that are here, Mr. Napoleon Zombe, all other distinguished guests that have come to attend this function, ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. It gives me great pride to stand here today, a year later, when we started what we figured was a huge task ahead of us. We had an idea of creating an innovation ecosystem, but the building blocks were not yet procured a year ago. We've gone around and round. We've engaged with district councils. We've had meetings with district commissioners and their director of planning to help us to shape how best we can align technology with the interventions that are required in the district councils. Borrowing from the Communications Act of 2016, Section 6, subsection 2, item G, which gives MACRA the mandate to look after innovations in the communications sector, the MACRA board thought it wise that we should expound on that and create a special purpose vehicle that we could use to inculcate a spirit of digital innovations. In us doing that, what was very key was that we should be able to measure, was that we should be able to account, was that we should be able to have reference, and we should be able to have a profile of what is it that our people are thinking in the digital space, what are the attempts that are being made, why are these attempts falling short, at what point are these attempts falling short, and which ideas are really making sense, and which ideas should then be accelerated so that they can go into the market and become SMEs that can employ people and be productive corporate citizens in the country. Whilst we create jobs on one hand, whilst we do economic empowerment on one hand, we need to be aware that as a country, we are part of a global village. This global village right now is going through what is known as the fourth industrial revolution. In the fourth industrial revolution, it is the use of technology, big data, artificial intelligence, and Internet of Things to ensure that we are able to create a better life for our people, that we are able to create local solutions to our local problems. Malawi does not exist in a vacuum. Malawi exists as part of a global village. Therefore, it is very important that we ascribe to the high standards and to the expectations of what other nations are doing. Nations are now going into a digital economy. The economies of the world are now being run by digital entities. If you look today at top 10 richest persons, you see that 8 of them are in the digital space. If you look today at the top 10 economies of the world, you see that all of them, they are driven by technology. This then points that as a nation, we need to pay serious attention to what it is that we're doing with our digital space. We have a very youthful nation, averaging age of 17 years old. A lot of kids that are dropping out of school, not because they are not bright, but there could be circumstances that are otherwise. Those kids and those young boys and girls are serious human capital that this country requires. But if we don't have an orderly way in which we are inculcating that talent, if we don't have an orderly way in which we are accounting for those ideas, we are going to remain where we are, where we are losing out on brilliant ideas that cannot be documented. All we have is just a story. Wakuti anapangako chakuti nthawi yake zikuthera pompo. With the MUUNI Fund, what we have started at MACRA is a journey towards creating a digital economy for this country, a journey towards a defined digital economy that is knowledge-based, but a digital economy that we can account. As I stand today, I'm pleased to announce that, to report that over the past 12 months, MACRA has invested about 500 million in the MUUNI Fund program. That has been an investment. I don't want to use the word expense or cost, but I'm using the word invested. Because as of today, you can see that we now have some tangible results out of that 500 million. We are hoping that in the next 12 months, we're going to build on these 20 and 70 ideas so that they really graduate into a state that we can come back here and report that now we have 20 SMEs that have employed X number of people and that are contributing X amount of money as revenue back into the country. In order for us to create a sustainable ecosystem, MACRA, through the Line Ministry, has been spearheading the development of the Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship Bill. This bill seeks to create a sustainable vehicle that we can use to fund and accelerate ideas. What we have are brilliant ideas. On the other hand, for these ideas to grow into SMEs, they need money. In Malawi, we have trust issues. Even your uncle cannot just give you money, even though you are a brilliant guy. The same way that banks do not just give you money. Banks will ask you for collateral, and usually they want a house. They don't just want a house, they want a proper house. So you see that most of these innovators do not have access to such assets. But what we're interested in is the value in the knowledge that they have. Through the MUUNI Fund and through this new bill, we're hoping that we'll create a sustainable vehicle that will be able to allow us to pull in investors, both local and international, that we can use to accelerate these ideas, to move the ideas from where they are, to get them to a certain point. Malawi stands at a chance of exporting proper human capital, proper human knowledge to the rest of the world. We have been traditionally a source of labor. You will recall that there was Wenera back in the days. Our grandfathers trekked to South Africa to build the mines. They trekked to Zambia to build the mines. They trekked to Zimbabwe to build the mines. And now we are in a new era where we need to create Wenera 2.0. In Wenera 2.0, no Malawian leaves Malawi, but our ideas and our skills leave Malawi and get exported outside. We don't need a passport. What we need is connectivity and our brilliant minds. And that is a Malawi that we should strive for, and that Malawi through MUUNI is possible. I thank you very much for God, for my country. Thank you.
How good was that? Top 10 economies driven by technology. And I must say, I'm not even sure if MUUNI Fund expected over 1,000 people to apply at that point. And I'm sure you may have been, but maybe you were expecting it. Were you, was he? Yeah? But what hope and also what trust MACRA has put in the young people of Malawi to say that we know you can do it, and we have proven that we can do it, and that we'll be able to change the trajectory of our country ourselves. Our problems are solutions for our Malawi. With that, allow me to invite up to the podium MACRA board